There was a time, not that long ago, when social media was human. Messy, specific, occasionally unhinged, sometimes genius, often both. Sometimes we still see glimmers of the olden days, but today it tends to be a little more AI created junk than real humans engaging with one another. And I'm not talking about the bots that troll you on X or TikTok or the funny Sora created talking animals. I'm talking about the real humans who use AI to write comments in places like Reddit and LinkedIn. I'm sure you've seen it. I've seen it. We've all seen it. Someone posts something thoughtful, and the comments are rife with the regurgitation of what was posted, followed by an insightful post, or so valuable, thanks for sharing, or great perspective, really resonates. Here's the thing. We know what you've done. We know you asked AI to summarize our content and write a comment. And look, I'm a huge fan of AI. It has made me incredibly productive. So using it to summarize the content is fine. But for the love of all things, don't have it write the comment too. It's really bad. I get why it happens. I do. Social media gurus have spent the past few years yelling the same advice through a megaphone. Spend hours commenting. As if you're supposed to treat it like it's your full-time job when you already have, an actual full-time job. So, of course, people look for the shortcut, the efficiency hack, the easy button. And that, my friends, is how we got here. Platforms full of comments that sound supportive, but don't actually say anything. A sea of polished, pleasant, empty calories. The problem is not that AI exists. The problem is that the second your comments stop sounding like a person with a point of view and start sounding like a participation trophy, and I know how much we all love our participation trophies, you're not building relationships. You're building a paper trail of inauthenticity. And yes, people can tell. Even the ones you think are too clever to detect. We know. I promise you, we know. On this week's Spin Sucks podcast episode, we'll talk about how to use social media authentically without giving up your day job.
If you're a communications pro who works hard, doesn't compromise quality, and gets the job done, welcome home. We'll share our tips, tricks, and stories, and together we will change the face of PR. Spin sucks, but we don't. With the Spin Sucks podcast, here's Gini Dietrich.
Welcome back to the Spin Sucks podcast. I'm Gini Dietrich. Before we get started, I have a little tidbit for you. Did you know that if you can't finish watching right now, you can subscribe to the audio version of this show? We're on all the platforms where you get your podcasts, including Spotify and Apple, or you can subscribe to our newsletter at spinsucks.com and get it in your inbox every Tuesday morning. A few weeks ago, Caitlin Bourgeon, I'm sure I butchered that, Bourgeon, posted on LinkedIn that she started calling people out who use AI for their comments. I'm not quite there yet, but I have stopped responding to their comments. The trouble, as I mentioned earlier, is we've been sold a growth strategy that sounds simple on paper. Comment a lot, get noticed, build relationships, and win customers. And yes, that actually works. It works in the same way that networking works, or showing up consistently works, or being a recognizable, helpful human works. But somewhere along the way, commenting stopped meaning having something to say and started meaning being present in the room, even if you're not actually in the room. Because the gurus didn't just tell people to comment, they told people to comment a lot, every day, for an hour, for two, as if the rest of your life is just waiting around for your next opportunity to write great point under someone else's post. Most smart, successful people don't have that kind of time. They're leading teams, managing customers, building actual businesses. So that advice turns into a problem. And when the tactic becomes impossible, people do what people always do. They find a workaround. They outsource it, they automate it, they hand it to AI. Not because they're lazy or bad people, but because the strategy was never designed for normal humans with full calendars. This backfires for two reasons. Number one, the people you actually want to work with, buyers, peers, partners, can smell this a mile away. And number two, the people who are also trying to hack the algorithm will happily engage back. those are not the people you want to engage with. So you don't reach your goals, you don't network effectively, and you don't bring in new customers. You get a comment circle jerk, which is exactly why Caitlin's point lands. She's not trying to embarrass anyone. She's trying to keep them from quietly setting their credibility on fire in public. Let's make this painfully simple. People buy from other people. That's it. And when AI is writing comments for you, they backfire pretty much every time. A thoughtful comment is a tiny act of respect. It says, I read this, I understood it, I also have a point of view. An AI generated comment says, I skimmed nothing, but I'd still like to take credit for being here. If you're not willing to put in 30 seconds of thought on someone else's ideas, why should they trust you with their business, their budget, or their reputation? To boot, AI comments flatten your point of view into beige mush. Real relationships are built on specificity, a sharp observation, a lived example, a we tried this and here's what happened, a respectful disagreement, or a question that proves you're actually using your brain. AI comments strip all of that out. And what's almost worse, when you comment like a bot, you attract the bots or the humans who behave like the bots. So instead of pulling in clients or peers or journalists or influencers, you end up in a little ecosystem of people who are also doing performative engagement for performative engagement results. It looks busy, it feels active, it's not revenue, it's not relationships, it's not results. Every time you leave a comment that clearly was not written by you, you create a tiny trust penalty. People start to file you away as not actually thoughtful, kind of spammy, here for the algorithm, probably selling something, or plain old lazy. Once you're in that mental folder, good luck climbing out. At this point, I'm sure someone is thinking, Jenny, I'm busy. I don't have time to write thoughtful comments on 12 posts a day. I can barely keep my head above water as it is. Same. Totally get it. Yep. And to be clear, I'm not anti-AI. I freaking love AI. I'm not even anti-efficiency. I also love efficiency. I love tools. I love anything that helps smart people move faster without losing their minds. What I am anti is outsourcing the part that makes people trust you, your brain, your voice, your point of view. Of course, LinkedIn matters. Social proof matters. Relationships matter. Visibility matters. And in a world where we're all drowning in content, showing up consistently is still one of the best ways to stay top of mind. But there is a difference between using AI to help you show up and using AI to pretend you showed up. One is leverage, the other is performance. And performance is exactly what buyers are exhausted by. So the question isn't, should you comment or not? The question is, how do you scale presence without faking connection? If the only way your strategy works is by sounding like a beige robot marshmallow who really resonates with everyone, it's not a strategy. It's reputation sabotage with better grammar. The good news is you don't need hours a day. You don't need a comment farm. You don't need to treat LinkedIn like a second job. You need a simple approach that lets you show up like a real human with a real point of view in about 60 seconds, which brings us to the part that will actually help. AI can help you think. AI can help you draft. AI cannot be you in public. Because the minute a tool is speaking for you, especially in a place where relationship building is the entire point, you've crossed from efficiency into misrepresentation. If your comment implies you read the post, understood it, and have a take and you didn't, that's not harmless. It's credibility leakage, sabotage, trust sabotage, right? You're not building that trust at all. So here's a quick gut check. If you didn't at least read the AI summary, don't comment. If you didn't understand it, your comment could be to ask a question instead of dropping a compliment. If you don't have a point of view, say something smaller but real. What stood out, what you're curious about, what you've seen that supports or challenges it. Or don't leave a comment. That's okay too. So here's a quick and easy way to comment all on your own without the AI. Well, AI is going to help you a little bit, but not with the comment. So we have the 3S comment. and it stands for specific, signal, and step. All right. So for specific, you want to pull one thing from the post. If it's an article or a newsletter that was posted, you can ask AI to summarize it for you. And then pull something that you liked. Read it, of course, and then pull something that you liked. A phrase, a point, a line that made you nod. This proves that you read it, and it shows the writer that you actually saw them. For signal, your second S, add your point of view. This is we've seen this too, or it's a counterpoint, or it's a nuance. This is where your expertise lives. This is what you should be demonstrating. And then for step, end with something that invites a real response. Maybe it's a question, how are you seeing this play out? Or what would you do if ... That's it. It takes 60 seconds, less if you type fast, and it works because it creates a moment of actual connection. It works because it does what AI comments never can. It creates a moment of actual connection. Because people don't remember the person who comments the most. They remember the person who sounds like a real human, who pays attention, who has something to say. If you're going to show up in someone's comments, show up like you. Use AI to save you time. Use AI to help sharpen your thinking. Use AI to help you get to the point faster, but do not let it wear your name tag. The algorithm is not your customer. The people reading your words are. In a world where we're drowning in synthetic noise, the most strategic thing you can do is sound unmistakably, stubbornly human. If you want to learn more about how to show up as your human self without adding on a second job, join us in the Spin Sucks community. It's a great place to get advice, brainstorm ideas, and build real relationships with your peers. You can find us at spinsucks.com/community. That's spinsucks.com/community. And make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. We're posting tips, how-tos, cheat sheets, and more every week. I'll see you next week.